sometimes I can understand why not every team gets talked about in sports, especially in football. But I, Cortez, alone me, is trying to give all 32 teams some screen time. Because I believe all fans, good or bad, annoying or not, bandwagoners or diehard lifelong Jenny, need to be talked about. With a respect, charisma, and a little bit of irony and comedy. And mockery. Hey everybody, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic, and we're concluding the AFC North by talking about the Cleveland Browns. Alright, so the Cleveland Browns, in case you haven't known already, they sent Kenny to the Raiders because the Raiders lost Aiden O'Connell for a period of time. So basically, the 95-year-old quarterback Joe Flacco is literally one stub toe away before the Browns are forced to put Dylan, a rookie, or having to deal with the media of Shedeur Sanders' timeline. Cleveland is in a world of hurt, and the worst part is it's because of their own making. I am not going to sit here and say that Cleveland is a mistake, Cleveland are idiots, Cleveland are fools, when quite frankly their own fan base can do that. Heck, I'm sure there's some Cleveland Brown fans that are still kind of like, what is worse, giving Deshaun Watson that big contract or watching Baker Mayfield succeed somewhere else? But you guys, at least you got Myles Garrett to a big contract. That's a win. But if you guys have any hope of the season, these are the three games I think Cleveland Browns need to pay attention to. Week 11 versus Baltimore. It's a division foe. You guys have had success in history's time against a much superior Ravens team when you guys were basically looking at a losing season for like the nth year in a row. But if you have any hope, you got to beat the Ravens. If nothing more than just to better your wild card positioning for that 6th, 7th seed. Okay, let's be real. This is clearly what you want to do. Because by this point, by week 11, I'm going to say you're not playing spoilers just yet. So I'm going to say you're still competitive. So a win against division foe in Baltimore, definitely important. Week 16, you're hosting the Bills. Now we're getting close to the crunch time. Now we're getting close to the end of the year. For the Bills, they'll be competing for a division title if they have not already secured it, because thanks to the failures of everyone else. But then the Bills will be trying to compete for better positioning for the playoffs, which means they need to beat you, Cleveland, because you are in the way. And Cleveland, if you have not quit yet, and there's still hope for the 7th seed or even the 6th seed, because some things happen, then you need to beat the Bills. And Bills are not going to come in there easy. They're going to come into Cleveland with motivation and determination, because I guarantee you either Baltimore or the Chiefs are saying, lose. So if you want any hope, Cleveland, you got to beat the Bills. And then week 18, if for whatever reason the battle of OHIO comes down to the Bengals and the Browns, and who knows, the Browns could be trying to fight for a wild card spot. This could be a crucial week 10th win or 9th win that could make them into a playoff contention. And the Bengals could be fighting for a division title at this point. Or maybe they already clinched the division. They're just trying to get themselves into the number 1 seed. Either way, Cleveland, this game should hopefully be more than just Ohio supremacy. This game should definitely be about, we are not quitting and we're going to get the 7th seed. Or the season's already lost and this is just for bragging rights, and therefore, have at it. Highest point, and trust me, I am stretching for this one, 8 wins. I believe the Browns defense is good enough to force a couple of turnovers that the offense is enough. I don't believe that, but I cannot be completely on. I gotta have at least some sense of hope. Because sometimes it's better to be lucky than good in some time when you're the Cleveland Browns. But 8 wins is the most I can give it. If somehow you guys get the 9th win, or even the 10th win, and make the playoffs, proud of you guys. I'm really proud of you. But if you don't, then 8 wins is not a bad start. And then you can guys talk about the Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel argument through the whole offseason. Do I believe Cleveland's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft? Lowest point is 5 wins. I don't see this team being that bad. Believe it or not, I don't see the Browns being that bad to be competing for a top 5 pick or even the number 1 pick. I just don't see Cleveland being that bad. Compared to the Giants, the Jets, the Saints, I don't see the Browns being that bad to be considered the number 1 overall pick. If they do, boy, it will be embarrassing to say the least. My MVP goes to Myles Garrett. He got the big money. He could have left. Hell, he could have joined Green Bay too with Michael Parsons maybe. I don't know. But he got paid big, and he's probably the only reason why I have any hope for Cleveland's defense to help out the offense. But yeah, Myles Garrett MVP. He's probably the only Cleveland Brown besides Joe Thomas of recent years that has been drafted by the team and has agreed to stay with the same team. Verdict for Cleveland. I think this team is good enough to be at least in the playoff conversation by the last 3 weeks of the season. So I'm going to say you guys just missed the playoffs. 7-10, 8-9 record. You guys will just miss it. I really believe the AFC North could be that team where everyone has at least 8 wins. That's how I look at it anyway for Cleveland. So just missed the playoffs, Cleveland. But I could be wrong. I'm just a YouTuber. And that's the Cleveland Browns. And that's the entire AFC North. We have 2 divisions left. And we're going to go to the AFC South. And we're going to talk about the Tennessee Titans. Because they got the number 1 overall pick. And quite frankly, it's time to judge what they've done in the preseason. So until next time, I'm Cortez. And I'm a critic. Thank you so very much for watching.